I am so excited for this one. These are 2 bacon and cheese turnovers from Iceland. Spoiler alert, the next few products I will be reviewing are all from Iceland. I got a bit of a haul there, but back to this. I absolutely love these. Now, they make these in like sort of little deli type things they have here in Northern Ireland, like little spars, garages. They have little hot food counters, petrol stations. They have little hot food counters and also like shops, like I said, spar shops. And they make these here. These are like a slice of bacon, pastry, cheese, pastry spoiled over the bacon. I don't know, do you have that where you are living right now? Let me know. Or is it a thing we just have over this part of the world? But the ones we get from those said shops I'm talking about are fantastic. My go-to. As soon as I see them there, they'll do me. I'll have 2 of those, please. But if these are good for £1, that is unbelievable value. I can't remember how much they cost in the garages and petrol stations, bars, but I know it's definitely more than 50p because these are 50p each, £1 for 2. So they're maybe like 4-5 times that price, maybe like £2, £2.50. So there we go. Now this is, they are 180 grams for both, so each turnover is 90 grams. And yeah, let's get a closer look at the box. On the front of the box, there is nothing much really to see other than this picture of this fantastically cooked bacon and cheese turnover. And as I said, they're 90 grams each, 180 grams in total, 290 gram turnovers. Simple text on the front, Iceland, 2 bacon and cheese turnovers. Simple but effective. Same on the other side, so that all the instructions, ingredients is on the sides of these boxes. So there we have their ingredients. Now, if you want to read that and it interests you and you're really concerned, there it is. Cooking instructions. We have 2 options to hand here. We've got oven for 20-25 minutes, fan assistant oven, 200 degrees. If I get this to focus for you, which is a bit annoying because of the light. And we've got the air fryer for 12 to 14 minutes, 200 degrees. We are going to opt for the air fryer. It's far more efficient energy-wise and it's just quicker and all right easier. But before we do that, let's have a look and see what we're actually working with here. Now, to look at it there, it doesn't look too impressive. So hopefully, whenever it is actually cooked, it puffs up nicely and is a bit more impressive. But at first look, it doesn't look fantastic, but a little bit of heat on the subject and it should come out nicely. See some of the cheese we're going to melt, and that's cubes of bacon. There's 1 cube of bacon that actually fell out. But let's get them in the air fryer and I'll bring you back in 14 minutes. Just out of the air fryer. Now that is some difference in looks wise. You may be thinking, they're a bit overdone for me, but to be honest, I was just concerned. I want to make sure these bacon cubes were cooked properly. So as I said, I had it in for 14 minutes at 200 as the box suggested. But then I left it in, I dropped it to 180 degrees. And I put it in for like a further 3 minutes. If I was to make them again, I would recommend dropping it down to 180 and putting it in for about 20 minutes to 180. I think if I make these again, that's what I'll do. But I don't think they turned out too badly. They're still piping hot, so I'll open this one up and see how it looks inside. Do a bit of a doctor work the way we always do. 1 pastry gets sacrificed for the audience. As you can see there, the difference in how the meat has cooked. The bacon on the outside here has cooked nice and crispy, and that there is nice. Well, that there is much more moist. You'll notice I like that word, I say it a lot. But all in all, it'll still be okay. I'll still eat that, no problem. But as I said, I would probably do this a bit longer at lower temperature just to get a bit more like this. See this one here? This bit of bacon? A bit darker. in this sort of pinky looking piece, but we'll roll the dice with it. But all in all, they look okay. Time for the taste test. So we'll start with the intact one. And just get stuck straight in, hopefully I don't burn the mouth of myself. Let's go again. Try the other end, the bacony end. Really salty, that bacon. I can really taste the salt. You're not gonna lie, they do taste slightly different. The ones that we get in the garages here. Because the ones we get in the garages, there's an actual rasher of bacon that goes right through. And this is the little cubes, which is making it really salty. I don't know if it's the cut of the meat, the cheaper meat, but it is really salty and it does taste different, so I'll not lie to you. So with each bite I take, tasting more and more salt, which, so opinions are maybe changing slightly as we get further into the review. Nice big cheesy bite. Hot. The cheese, I don't know what sort of cheese that is, the creamy type cheese. Does it say what type of cheese? I can't see it in real cheese anyway. Mature cheddar cheese, 2.5%. Mozzarella cheese, 1%. So yeah, mostly fake cheese I would say. But it tastes okay for 50p. Now, back round and try a good big mouthful of this crispy, well cooked bacon cube portion. Once again, a bit too salty for my liking. Really salty. Sugar mate, it's so salty. Okay. Right. Before I say what I think, I'll let you know, I'll show you what your app thinks. And as you can see, it's not too impressed. Not too impressed at all. It got staggeringly bad 2 out of 10. 2. Awful score. Awful. High risk. Additives E250, E252. Limited risk E464, E170, and artificial flavouring, and then there's other ones that are risk free. It's very high in saturates and salt, as I can tell. So when the first couple of bites there I was getting into, I thought, well, these are good. The more when I get in deeper into that, I don't really like it. You know what would be nicer? If it was just a cheese one without the bacon. Because that is clearly a cheap cut of bacon there. Really salty. I don't know what part of the pig that comes from, but it's definitely not a good cut. Now, take in mind they are 50p each. You get what you pay for a lot of the time. Sometimes you get a little bargain, but in this case, it is a 50p item. So I do see why the other ones in the shops are ones that are freshly made are £2.50 for 5 times the price, 5 times the better ingredients. It's better cheese in those, and it's better bacon in those. But it's 50p. 50p each, you know, £1 for 2. If you're stuck, you're starving, it would keep you going until you got something. But now, I done the yucca score there whenever we're waiting for that to cook. And I was in my head, I was saying, you know, maybe I will stop doing these scores halfway through because it's starting to put me off my score, giving my score. But then I said to myself, you know what, I'm just going to, I know the score from yucca, but I'm going to dismiss it and I'm going to give an honest score of the taste. If I like it, I'm giving it a good score regardless of how the bad additives it got. But I can't even do that because when I tasted it, it wasn't great. It wasn't great. It's very, very salty, but excuse me, I do like salt, but that is a different level. So now I'm going to have to give that a bad score, folks, and I'm so disappointed. And I thought, oh my god, I'm so excited to try these. I thought, oh my goodness, I'm going to stock up on these, but nah. Probably the first and last time we'll have them, so I'm going to give them a generous because they're either, should I even? Nah, I'm just going to give them 3. They're getting a 3. 3 out of 10. I think that's probably the worst yet, is it? I'm not sure. But I'm so disappointed. But anyway, that's why I do this. That's why I review these. So you don't have to. But if you want to, roll the dice. Well, I'm giving it a 3. Final score. Bish, bash, bosh. Now, back to the Yucca app. Like I say, I do the Yucca app. Maybe you just don't want to know what's in these foods. So I'm debating, do I drop that part of the video? So if you want me to drop that part of the video and not scan the foods and see what's in it and just go solely on taste and looks, you know, ingredients, let me know in the comments below. Or a better way to do it is, like, anybody that wants me to drop Yucca, like the video, and I'll see there's loads of likes, then I'll know, okay? Otherwise, I'll just mosey on. But anyway, thanks again for watching, folks, and I'll see you on the next one.